Hi, and welcome to another episode of W&NS Racing. Today, we need your help and advice because we have a problem. We have well, a mystery car. Here you can see the mystery car. This car was on sell on internet and it was called a Grasshopper. I bought it for 70 euros as a spare parts car for my Tamiya Grasshopper. But having a closer look, this doesn't seem a normal grasshopper. Of course, it has some Super Hornet wheels or some Wild One wheels, but if we have a closer look, at the front there is something like a sway bar. Now that is very odd because who needs a sway bar on a Tamiya Grasshopper? The suspension is so hard on a Grasshopper that I don't think you really need one. Nevertheless, it looks nicely done, a real piece of art. I was really enthusiastic about this yellow bumper, so that's one of the reasons why I bought the car, but this is definitely not something from Tamiya. Let's look at the underside and let's look at the A-arms at the front. There are some holes or circles in it, and that's not what we are used to if you look at the Tamiya Grasshopper. So that's really odd. You can see here the complete front part of the car. And even the center part between the two arms has these same circles or holes. From the underside, the car really looks like a grasshopper, but have you seen the waffled pattern on the battery door? No, I've never seen this before in a Tamiya car. So is this something new? Well, it's definitely vintage, but is it a part of another car? The inside looks like the battery door of a Tamiya Grasshopper anyway. And it fits, so it's a mystery to me. Inside the chassis, well, there are electronics, of course, and a lot of cables. The chassis has to be Tamiya. It's really mentioned on the chassis. And as you can see, well, this has been glued in typically weak areas of the Tamiya Grasshopper and Hornet. So that's what we are acquainted with. We have a rubber ESC, a rubber receiver, and lots of cables and soldering and clips and other things. The gearbox seems to be Tamiya, or at least the gearbox cover seems to be, as you can read Tamiya on it. But in the background you can see something like a dirt shock modification, which means that this isn't a Grasshopper, but, well, is it a Hornet then? Here you have a closer look at the dirt shock. Seems nicely done. Well, it actually does look like a Hornet, does it not? Although the shocks are not Tamiya shocks, they seem to have adjustable springs, and well, I'm not sure whether they are whether they are oil-filled. We'll have to find out. The car has a 540 motor, so that's something that fits more to a Grasshopper. You can see the third shock mount again. And here you can see the Grasshopper body on the Hornet. It fits nicely, and you can see that there is some battle damage at the rear of the car, or at least at the rear of the body. Someone else drilled holes in the body, so probably there were, or there used to be, some lice in it. And then there has been some surgery here to make the body fit the Hornet chassis, as you can see. Someone has installed a switch and drilled some holes in the body. And where the lights were, well, there are now two holes. The body is painted red inside, and you can see that there are some repairs done. But it is definitely a Tamiya Grasshopper body. Now I'm curious if you can help us on determining what kind of parts or what cars have been used here to make this car complete. Is this actually a grasshopper, or is it a hornet, or is it something completely different, or is it just a spare parts card? So please help us with your advice and what you know about these parts, and post your comments in the description on YouTube or on the Facebook page. Thank you, and we'll keep you posted. Bye.